ever makes a joke.
Not with the B word.
I wrote it on that sheet. She told me to write it somewhere. As far as I remember, he said, I just want to say, if you come in my bag prematurely, I apologize to your family in advance.
Hey, we're down by the G10 at the customs service area. I don't know. I haven't been able to find that person, but I have Mr. Brinzer.
You mentioned my flight's in 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, we'll get it.
No, I understand.
Okay. Okay, bye. Could you go and check with the gate over there and see if they know?
Can I just take everything out?
They had to, it's just a little protocol they're going to do now. I mean, even though it's obviously clear. Hello.
Yes.
Hi, did somebody call?
Yes. In reference to a comment that was made in the conference?
Right. Who complained?
It was
Was she Asian?
Yes. Yes, came up.
That's the one I talked to. Let me just get your...
So I was told he was previously dealt with and issued a refund.
Who, him? Previously dealt with where? Here?
That's what they claim. They're giving a refund.
When? Today? Were you given a refund for him?
And no one talked to him today?
Only me.
Only you?
The whole thing started a couple minutes before he approached me.
Yeah, some Asian woman approached me, and she said, he mentioned what he said. I went up and I talked to him. I ran in, and he was fine. He put in his bag. So now it's a big problem.
Yes, it is now. So we're gonna issue a refund, and it is not gonna
So you're not gonna be able to go on.
Because of what I said, or just because of
what you said?
You
can't say that. Huh? Can't say that.
Yeah, but if you check my bag and you know it's a joke.
Do you have your information? Your read me his ID or his boarding pass and ID?
Hello?
So what is it like? I never go with Spirit again?
I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Like, no one ever makes a joke.
Not with the B word.
Okay, so you speak, Fry just wanted me to speak to him again. So,
I talked to him.
Yeah, we spoke, yeah.
So,
I didn't go over and talk to you guys again because you guys didn't want him to know it was you guys.
so verbatim, what did he say again?
I wrote it on that sheet. She told me to write it somewhere. As far as I remember, he said, I just want to say, if you come in my bag prematurely, I apologize to your family in advance. I mean, I thought I misheard it, and then
what?
if the bomb in my bag
Were you with that other girl or were you alone?
Yeah, no, we're traveling together. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, he told the lady
0120.
with the dog was sitting next to him.
0120.
And I don't know, I did not know
What's your
if
first
he
name?
got up and got something.
S-R-I-K.
I know he suddenly sat down,
A-N-T.
or he moved from a different seat, like sitting behind me.
T for
I think you were sitting in the same. I think you were sitting in the same spot where I left.
Yeah.
S-R-I-K-A-N-T.
And then like he just turned around and said to the lady, the dog wasn't barking, so he suddenly said something like that. And then I thought he was hitting on her, but then I
He
realized.
was.
Oh really?
He was. That's what he told me. He said he was flirting with her. That's why he said that. I don't know if that's a good way to flirt, but.
Oh, he said it, right?
What's that?
He said okay.
Oh yeah, he didn't deny it. He told me he was flirting with her, and he said that. So, like I said, that's not a good way to flirt, especially in an airport. Do you know what flight? Do you know what flight?
He was on?
No. Do you know who? Well, do you know what flight the two people who complained were going?
They were on his flight. I changed
Where are
it
they now?
later.
Where are they now? Do you know?
They should have left because their flight is later.
That's her name right here. Could you print out the boarding pass too? Both of them, their boarding passes? Because I need to get the phone number.
He can't make jokes like that. I know some people this is the one.
Oh, they're at F8 now?
Yeah, they're done.
We need them back. All the way to F8 now?
Give him a call.
They'll come back.
That's true. We have the phone.
So what happens in this incident?
It's a whole bunch of bluster, and then it's probably going to turn out to be a whole lot of nothing. Maybe he'll get a fine. I don't know. But. Hello?
So that's the new flight?
Yes. They're traveling tonight at 8.
Could you pull his phone number so we call him?
They're gonna start making all the contacts. I was like, no, don't.
7-5 is our case number.
We're gonna take him back to the station.
Okay. Was it actual?
He was flirting with the lady next to him, and he said something really stupid about. Let me see here. He said something to the effect of. What's that? I apologize to your family if the comment here in my bag goes off prematurely. So.
This is the guy?
Over there.
The guy over here?
Yeah. Okay. We have to go to the station now. I'm telling you,
I shouldn't make the joke, and there should be a sanction, but it's clear I was joking. So what's the
now
problem?
I have to talk to the investigators and the whole bit. So why don't you put that
But
back
since
in
we
there?
know I was joking, what investigator?
Well, you got to tell them, and this goes way beyond now. They complain, so now it goes way beyond
Who's the they? Just someone knows.
the people that heard it initially.
Well, what does their judgment bear on
Well, you even
consequences to me?
Well, because you not only. Yeah, I'll take that. Hey, can you take this? And they'll take this. There you go. And unfortunately, we have to stay over here. We do have to do this. Unfortunately.
What if I had not said it? The person saying it up.
You told me you said it though. I appreciate your candor. You know,
Well, there's a lesson there, right?
The fact of the matter is, even if there's more than one person that heard it, it's one of those things. I'm sure you'll never do this again.
Yeah, I'm not mad at any of you guys. You're doing your job. It's so fucking stupid.
It's a process.
I know it's a process.
And that's
they send people in Russia to mental institutions because there's politics.
Right,
that's a process too. It's got to be grounded in reality.
Like the sergeant was saying before, prior to, after 9/11, this is the way.
TP investigative detention, Terry versus Ohio, 392 US 11968. Officers may briefly detain an individual upon reasonable articulable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. A credible eyewitness report of a threat-related statement at an active departure gate satisfies this threshold. The standard is objective, not subjective, what a reasonable officer would conclude given the totality of circumstances. TT, State, Charge, Florida, Statute, Section 790.163. A person who makes a false report with intent to deceive or mislead any person concerning the placing of any bomb or explosive commits a felony of the first degree punishable by up to 30 years in prison. The statute does not require the threat to be credible. It requires proof of intent to deceive or mislead. That single element, mens rea, is where this case ultimately turned.
This is the world we live in now. I just, you turn it up, it gets too loud, and you turn it down, it gets too low, and I miss it, and,
2 True 3 Doctrine, Virginia versus Black, 538 US 3432003. The First Amendment does not protect true threats defined as a serious expression of intent to commit unlawful violence. However, context is essential to the analysis, tone, setting relationship between speakers and what a reasonable listener would perceive all factor into the determination. Mental state requirement, Ilonis v. United States, 575 US 7232015. The Supreme Court held that negligence is insufficient for federal threat statutes. The defendant's mental state matters. A speaker's subjective intent does not override the reasonable listener standard entirely, but it remains a material factor in the prosecution's burden of proof. T federal jurisdiction, T49 USS, Section 46507 Making a false threat concerning aircraft security is an independent federal offence under Title 49. The state's decision to retain jurisdiction without federal escalation indicates no nexus to organised or intentional aviation threat was established.
Not going to be a long trip. It's going around for 10 minutes. Watch your knees.
Procedural outcome. Broward County, the 22nd of April 2024. The state attorney filed a no info, a formal declination to file an information charging document. In Florida practice, this withdraws the charge before prosecution officially commences. Authorized by Judge Thomas J. Coleman, the case was not further prosecuted. The no info is not an acquittal. It is prosecutorial discretion based on insufficient evidence to prove intent to deceive or mislead beyond a reasonable doubt. TP lessons learned. 1. Aviation security operates under a zero ambiguity standard. Post 9/11 Federal Law 49 USC Section 46507 and state statutes impose strict liability on the speaker, not on how the listener chose to interpret the statement. 2. I was joking is not a statutory defense. It is evidence of mental state evaluated in context. 3. A no info does not validate the speech. It reflects the prosecution's inability to prove mens rea, not a finding that the statement was harmless or legally protected under the First Amendment. 4. The legal threshold for arrest, Terry, is far lower than the threshold for prosecution. Section 790.163 mens rea. Both standards were correctly applied. The gap between them is where this case was resolved.